The month of August is always a trial, and the last dress rehearsal is in order. New England comes to Las Vegas.
Whatever happens on the field happens, so it's going to test our ability to communicate.
The franchise connections are clear, but our blueprint is no duplicate.
Late now broken up. Drilled by Jonathan Abram. Five-man rush. Drilled as he steps up to throw.
Let's get one thing straight. This isn't Patriots Southwest. It's the silver and black.
Tap, handoff, trying the middle. Zamir White pushing in. PDLV.
The job must be earned. Only a few spots left on the final 53.
Deshaun Bauer had him around the waist, and the Raiders defense holds on fourth down.
A test ahead of game time awaits for just one more opportunity at Allegiant Stadium.
Raider Nation is ready. It's the final game of the preseason, Las Vegas and New England tonight from Allegiant Stadium. We're rolling out the black carpet for Legends of the Fall. It's Alumni Weekend, and the autumn wind is a Raider. And look at what it has blown into our broadcast booth. Two of the most prominent of the Raider alums. I'm Beth Mowins, along with Rich Gannon and Matt Millen, and we are ready to go for our final look at the Raiders before the regular season starts. And Matt, let's go right into this running back room, which appears to be much better than the group last year that rushed for less than 100 yards per game. This is a crowded room and a very versatile one.
And it's also maybe one of their strongest rooms they have on this football team. There's going to be some tough cuts here. Let me just tell you this. Somebody's going to get cut from this team that's going to be playing elsewhere in the National Football League. Zamir White is a guy, number 35, is just a good, tough kid. Out of Georgia, he's about 5'11", he weighs about 215. He's got good strength, catches the ball well. He does all the things you ask him for. The only thing he doesn't have is experience, and I think he's going to get that. And Britton Brown on the other side, he's a little taller guy, not quite as heavy. He's got some nice moves, has good speed to the outside. He's all the things you'd like in another back. They've got to play special teams. They're going to play the offense very, very well. It's just going to be a matter of numbers for these guys.
And, Matt, I don't know if you can keep them all. I mean, you look at the veterans they have, and Josh Jacobs and Brandon Bolden. You look at Amir Abdullah, who they really like. And, of course, you got to keep a fullback in Johnson. And so I think one of those rookies is probably going to be on the outside looking in. And as you point out, Matt, I think a real opportunity to catch up with another team. But great competition, no question, Beth, in the running back room.
And some good weapons for this Raider offense to work with. How about on the flip side? We had a chance to spend some time with new defensive coordinator Pat Graham this week, and he talked a lot about what he's been preaching to this group of defensive Raiders: toughness and tenacity and takeaways.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it starts with the toughness component. I think playing smart. I think eliminating the explosive plays, but creating negative plays. That's something the Raiders really struggled a year ago. You look at their lack of takeaways. They were 30th in takeaways. They had just 15. They had just 6 interceptions. That number has to change. And just 20th in sacks with 35. So I think when you look at the addition of Chandler Jones, you look at the addition of Rocky Sin in the secondary and some of the other free agents and rookies, this is a defense, Matt, in my opinion, that's got a chance to create more negative plays.
I absolutely agree with you. I think the biggest thing that Josh McDaniels has instilled in this team, don't beat yourself. Play smart football. I mean, back in the day, you could have a bunch of penalties and we'd still win a world championship. Not so much today.
Oh, Matt Millen chiming in with his days on the defensive side. A lot of fun for you guys. We're going to hear some great stories about everything that's been going on this weekend. With over 300 alumni in town, at least one guy from every Raider team in the history of the franchise. And, of course, we got some position competitions going on for those final spots on the Raiders roster. The last preseason game.
The reception from our fans, getting to know Raider Nation the way that you see them now, it's just different. You know, I've competed against them a handful of times in my time in the NFL, but now to kind of be on the same side, you understand why it is what it is. And I'm lucky and blessed to be the head coach here. That is the best atmosphere in a preseason game that I've ever been a part of, and that's easy to say that clearly. So I can't wait to play another time in here and then get to the regular season and have the opportunity to do it for real in the regular games. But you know, what a great, passionate fan base.
Praise from the Raiders' new head coach, Josh McDaniels. Also, some praise from Bill Belichick. The Patriots have been in town all week, a couple of scrimmages, and now the final preseason game.
Really productive scrimmages also. I mean, really, it was good practices to be at. They were very competitive. I thought they learned about both teams. I thought they learned a lot about themselves in those few days.
And really, Beth, the final opportunity, if you're a young player, if you're a rookie, if you're a veteran, to show this coaching staff, to show the general manager, Dave Ziegler, that you belong on this football team. They're just talking to the coaching staff. There's still some decisions still to be determined, and tonight will go a long way to deciding who the final 53 are.
Yeah, it could be a big night for a guy like Chase Garbers. Will the Raiders keep a third quarterback? All kinds of good position competitions going on. The roster has to slim down from 80 to 53 this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Courtney Hum, daughter of the late David Hum, alongside several other family members. Born and raised in Southern Nevada, David Hum, recognized as the original Las Vegas Raider, starred at Bishop Gorman High School before his collegiate career in Nebraska, where he was drafted by Al Davis and the Silver and Black in 1975. As a backup quarterback and placeholder during his 2 stints with the team, Hum contributed to Super Bowl seasons 11 and 18. He later joined the organization as a radio broadcaster from 1995 to 2016. Courtney and the Hum family are here tonight to light the torch in honor of and in tribute to Al Davis, who declared that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hum family.
An emotional scene pregame here at Allegiant Stadium before the Las Vegas Raiders take the field. David Hum, who was on a couple of those Super Bowl championship teams, and right here from Las Vegas, also a longtime radio analyst. And what a moment it was earlier today for the unveiling and in honor of David and what he meant to the Raiders, and once a Raider, always a Raider. The home radio broadcast booth here at Allegiant Stadium, named in honor of the late David Hum.
Hummer was one of those guys that you just, there's big link in the Hummer, Dave Hum broadcast booth, his brother and his daughter. Dave was one of those guys who never had a bad day. He was one of the funniest guys, always upbeat, real positive guy. Even when he got hit with the MS, he was always upbeat. Never, like I said, he never had a bad day. He's also the only guy I've ever seen do this. He was ambidextrous. And so there was he held extra points and stuff. So it was a preseason game. I wish we had film of it. He has a bad snap. He's on his right knee. Bad snap to his left, to the outside. Catches it with his left hand. Goes around his back to his right hand. Comes down, puts it up, and they kick it through, and it's good. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Who does that stuff? Hummer was amazing. He was just a great, great guy.
Tremendous honor and recognition of his contributions to this great organization, not only as a player, Matt, but as a broadcaster.
And so much more to come on all the Raider alums who are in attendance, 300 plus strong on this alumni weekend. And we'll hear some of the tall tales that have been told by our 2 alums here in the booth, Matt Millen, Rich Gannon. I'm Beth Mowins, and it's the final tryout, if you will, for a bunch of guys on both sides. The rosters are at 80. They have to get down to 53 by the middle of the week. Raiders have won the toss, but they deferred, so New England will receive Pierre Strong, is back deep. Daniel Carlson will boot it away. One of the things that Josh McDaniels brought up in our visit with the head coach this week, boy, what a luxury to walk into this situation with the special teams guys that the Raiders have. And Daniel Carlson, now in his 5th year, he's 73 makes and just 5 misses the last 2 seasons on his field goal attempts. And A.J. Cole, the Pro Bowl punter who led the NFL last year with that 50-yard average on his boots.
Beth, this right here is where you make the team. All those guys in the bubble position-wise, it's on special teams is where you really make the team. If you can play special teams, you got a shot.
Good challenge here for the defense as well, because the Patriots will trot out some of their starters, including quarterback Mac Jones, now in his 2nd year out of Alabama.
And he did a really nice job last year as a rookie under the tutelage of Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels. And he's a very accurate player, Matt, coming out of Alabama. He set an NCAA record in terms of completion percentage. He gets the ball out quick. He's got good anticipation, and he throws the ball very accurately from the pocket.
We'll throw on 1st down, and the completion for 8 yards to Devontae Parker, now in his 8th season out of Louisville.
That's good coverage, but a well-thrown ball. You talk about that accuracy. And those in breaking routes, when you have the guy in your hip, you got to be right where you're supposed to be, right? So he's a nice start.
He's not going to overpower you with his arm talent, but he gets the ball up and down quickly.
Tailback in the game is Las Vegas native Ramondre Stevenson out of Centennial High School. Former state player of the year, and he will be met in the backfield and taken down for a loss. Good push by one of those rookie linebackers, Darian Butler out of Arizona State. Luke Masterson also giving chase, a loss of 4.
Darian Butler did a really nice job of seeing the hole and attacking it right away. You're going to get a 2-gap look up front. Now watch, he's just going to foul right through. There's nobody there to get him. He did a double on the outside. They singled to 1. That's nicely done. Sets up this 3rd and about 6.
Well, you love it, Matt, when they don't block you, don't you?
Yeah, yes. It never really happened to me.
3rd down defense. Raiders trying to win it, and they will. Malcolm Kuntz with the sack, and it's 4th down as he drills him back at the 15.
He actually got a little help from the guard. He got pushed out by the guard from New England.
Raiders defense with the spark early.
Yeah, watch him come on. He's going to come on the end and engage the tackle right away. Now watch from the inside out right there. The guard pushes him basically into the sack.
Little assist.
Yeah.
It's a great job keeping his balance.
Yeah, and wherewithal. You know where he's at on the field. Good job.
Talked about creating negative plays,
yep.
The sack.
Loss of 13 there, so that's 2 negative plays on that possession. Jake Bailey's punt is away. DJ Turner is back there, chased inside his 30, makes the first man miss. And they'll return it out across the 35. That's also a deep group of return guys. In fact, Josh McDaniels told us this week they may use a bunch of different guys situationally during the regular season back there.
Rich, this guy right here, DJ Turner, this is my favorite guy.
He's fun to watch.
I watched him at Maryland. I watched him at Pitt. He's doing the same exact thing. He's one of those guys that you watch him on the clock, you put him on the clock, and you go, oh, he's not that fast, and then he runs away from people. He has an ability to make you miss. He's tough. He runs low. That's a good football player.
And the thing that I like, Matt, he holds on to the ball in traffic, and that's so important for a returner.
56 yards on that punt, 9 on the return for DJ, and it's Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. Got the fullback in the game as well. There was a tight end again lining up in the backfield. No, that was our first look at Jakob Johnson.
Jakob, big kid,
needs to play a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're going to use a fullback in this offense. So he really has got to be a pure special teamer if they keep a fullback spot, and he's got to be able to move people up front.
He's in the backfield again with the tailback Zamir White. They call him Zeus, out of the University of Georgia, where he won a national championship. Turner sheds a would-be tackler, and look at the leg drive down inside the Patriots 45 and a gain of 14.
Good call, Beth. You said the leg drive. That was after contact. The yak, yards after contact. That's what he has. Watch how nice and low he stays. He catches the ball, puts it away. Like you said, Rich, he's aware of the ball, so he protects it, right? Keeping it nice and tight. Now watch him low. He turns into a running back. That is I really like this kid.
He's got some strength, Matt, in his lower body. You could just see it. His ability to break tackles, keep his balance, and still fall forward at the end of each play.
Single setback here with 3 wide outs. Play action for Stidham.
Wide open.
Wide open down the middle, inside the 15-yard line, and dragged down at the 12 is Jesper Horsted. And a gain of 31 coming off a great night in Miami.
Well, you just see the tight end working right down the middle of the field, but you're going to see the little play action. And look at how it freezes the safety and the linebackers. Man, that's just bad play by the safety. He just has his eyes in the wrong place.
Wasn't just bad, Rich. It was atrocious. Those 2 backers bit like big dogs, man. It wasn't even close. The safety dropped down. Nice play action.
It's so unusual to see a tight end that wide open in the middle of the field.
Here's White following his lead down close to the 5. Picks up 6. It'll be 2nd and short. Raiders, of course, scored on their first drive in Miami. Very impressive, and now quickly moving down the field under the direction of Jarrett Stidham.
I like what Illuminor is doing at that right tackle spot.
Illuminor in there at right tackle, along with Lester Cotton beside him. James is at center. Jackson Barton at left tackle. John Simpson at left guard. Out of the gun, White may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Actually nosed it down inside the 5.
And Judon's a good player. That was Illuminor had him engaged. He's got to be able to move him, right? He's got to be able to control him. But instead, Judon controlled him that time. So when you're a defensive player and you're attacking an offensive lineman, the first thing is the attack point, right? You got to aggressively get into him. Then you got to control the guy. In that particular time, Judon controlled Illuminor.
A work out of the eye here. 3rd and a couple. White met in the backfield, and he won't get there. Good push up the middle from Kyle Duggar out of the secondary, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Duggar did the exact same thing that we had on the opposite side, Rich. Same exact thing. He dropped down. Nobody blocked him. So if you come clean and you're on the line of scrimmage, you better make the play.
Yeah, but for the 2nd straight week now, this offense with a number of backup players going up against the opponent's starters has looked really good. You go right down the field. Doesn't end the way you want down the red zone, but still good-looking first drive by the Raiders.
This will be a 23-yard attempt for Daniel Carlson. Career he's hit on 87% of his tries with money last season. He splits the uprights, and the Raiders get points on their first drive. Defense was the spark that started it, and the Raiders offense. 3-0 Raiders with the lead. A 7-play drive over 5 minutes and a 23-yard field goal. The NFL mandated 80-player limit for active rosters went into effect earlier this week. As we check out our Shift 4 transactions of note, running back Kenyon Drake and quarterback Nick Mullins both depart.
We talk about losses. The biggest loss the Patriots had in the offseason, Beth, when it comes to free agency and trades, they lost that guy right there, Josh McDaniels. Yeah. You think about it, 13 years as the offensive coordinator of the Patriots. They won 6 Super Bowls in 13 years, and now they're trying to figure out who's going to call plays. Is it going to be Matt Patricia? Is it going to be Joe Judge? Is it going to be Bill Belichick? Not an easy person to replace in your organization. Good look at Matt Patricia, the former head coach of the Detroit Lions, a former defensive coordinator, doesn't really have a lot of experience as an offensive play caller. He's actually an offensive line coach as well, Matt. And that's a hard job to be able to coach the offensive line and still try and call plays. It's kind of a work in process for the New England Patriots.
He's working with the starters out there again. The Raiders defense forcing a couple of negative plays. The Patriots' first possession.
They're too deep. Nice. See if he drops.
Jones will hand it off. And nothing doing on the edge. Sam Webb got there, and a flag flies.
It's a good read by Sam Webb. You're sitting in the zone. You see it develops. Now you got everybody, like you say, you build a wall in the run game. and the outer part of the wall is Webb.
Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Matt, I like what Pat Graham told us this week. Set the edge, build a wall, win your 1v1s, and be a willing tackler.
Yeah, and what he's really talking about in the willing part, DBs don't really like to get up there. They'll get up there. They don't really like to throw their face in there. So when you get a tackle like that, it's a good play. Unless you're the Honorable Judge Hayes, he'd like to hit him.
Out close to the 20 to Jacoby Myers and a gain of 5. It's a Raider defense under the direction of Pat Graham, who also has spent some time with New England and Bill Belichick and Pepper Johnson. He was with Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame before he got into the NFL. Had a great line, too, this week. He said, it's not my defense, it's their defense. And these Raiders are more than willing to take ownership. They've gotten great leadership from this group. Jonnu Smith with the catch, Amik Robertson with the coverage.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this coverage package. A nice job. They're right on top of guys. Even in their zones,
they're matching up well.
Yeah, really well.
And Beth, I think you bring up a great point about the ownership. I mean, any great unit, whether it's an offensive unit, you have to take ownership. You've got systems, you've got terminology, you've got verbiage, but you have to take ownership as players. Make it your own. Play with a certain style and a certain personality.
Raider Nation rising on a third down play, and Mac Jones going to run for it. The slide for a first down out to the 39.
Nicely played by Mac Jones. He saw it. It's man coverage. Everybody's on somebody. Just run where they ain't. Does a nice job.
Get a little ET stunt, Matt. What happens is it's like two ships passing in the night. He's just going to, you just watch. It's a natural pick there. He just goes right up inside. When you're in man coverage, there's a lot of running lanes and opportunities for the quarterback to pull it down.
Yeah, you used to do that a lot.
First and 10, 5 guys up front there for the Raiders, with the backers edging in. A gain of 4 for Ty Montgomery, the 8th-year man out of Stanford.
That's actually a pretty good job by that defensive front. Now I want you to watch everybody here. So everybody's got this. Everybody has a gap, and you're going to fill, where you have to from the outside. Okay, if everybody holds their man, you're building a wall across the front. Okay. Nicely done. Really good job inside there. And the backers come up and attack the same gaps that they're supposed to. That's good football.
One of those guys was Cleve Farrell. We're seeing him for the first time this preseason game. Injured player was Ty Montgomery, who had to be helped over to the Patriots sideline. Stevenson back in there at tailback, and Ramondre will get the call. And he's out across the 45 to the 47, and a gain of 5. Met there by Luke Masterson, the rookie, undrafted free agent out of Wake Forest. And the conversation at that linebacker spot, we've seen a handful of guys there. They're going to go with 5 guys. That would include Perryman, Brown, Diablo, and the 2 youngsters. The conversation around Curtis Bolton, the veteran. Actually, second-year man, makes him a veteran to the rookies, I guess. But
they're going to measure this, but they're short. It's going to be a 3rd and short.
And we all have stories, Beth, about this last preseason game, and I just remember Tyrone Wheatley, a great running back for the Raiders. He was on the bubble. He probably was not going to make the team, and he got an opportunity in the final preseason game to get some touches in the second half, and he went wild. I mean, he had a bunch of big runs. He broke tackles. He just, he was running hungry. And it was at that point that, the organization felt like, we just have to keep him. And he wound up having, a really nice career for us of being, a 1,000-yard rusher. But it was the opportunity that provided him in the last preseason game that he took advantage of.
Here's a look at opponents on 3rd down. Last year, close to 40% allowed by the defense. Better so far in this preseason, with a lot of the backups playing and guys fighting for spots. The other uncertainty is kind of defensive tackle, right? You've had injuries to guys that were expected to be starters that are now working their way back into shape. Here's a 3rd and 1.
Got to win the line of scrimmage. Come off low. Use leverage.
And the run into Raider territory will move the chains.
That's a good job by the running back. Does a nice job with his eyes. So it's designed to go to the left side, and they built the wall right there. And they stopped it exactly where you wanted it. You're going to watch here. Boom, right here. So he stopped him. Now he's just going to keep on skating with his eyes. He's just running the daylight. He did a nice job. Stevenson does a good job to get that first down.
Remember, you got that starting offensive line in there. This is a great test for some of these younger defensive players of the Raiders.
Sean Bauer was the guy there with the tackle for Vegas. Play action. Jones buying some time, looking downfield, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Luke Masterson, the rookie, still on his feet, down inside the 35. And a return of 30 yards and another Raider takeaway for the D.
Luke Masterson looked like the old safety that he was right there. Had a nice job, had a beat on a thing, was floating beautifully in that zone, and it just took it away.
Yeah, man, I don't think he ever sees him. I think once he starts to move and scramble, here he is right here. And I don't think when the quarterback starts to move to his right, he loses him right in the middle of his defense. See, he screened, and then he jumps right back in the middle of the throw. That was just too easy. It was well done. Reading the eyes of the quarterback the whole way there.
Defense did a good job. They had several picks during the scrimmages this week with the Patriots. A low throw from Stidham, incomplete, looking for Dylan Stoner.
Anytime you get a turnover, you got to take advantage of it. Great field position, man. This is one of those opportunities to come away with 7. You can't settle. Good teams, good offensive teams, when they get a break like that, they find a way to finish.
Yeah, you got to score.
Second and 10 with Stoner in motion. Stidham fires, and it's caught.
Tell you what, Jarrett Stidham's playing really well this preseason. He looked like he owns that position right there. Rich, he just went back, knew where he had to go with the football, knew where he wanted to go rather, stayed nice in the pocket, felt a little bit of pressure, but delivered right on the button.
Man, I just think he looks comfortable. I think that's a good thing from a quarterback's perspective. You know, he obviously knows the system from his time with Josh in New England. He plays fast. He's a good communicator. The ball comes out on time. He just looks comfortable. I think that's a great situation to have depth at that position.
Unsuccessful on their first 3rd and short. They get a second chance here, and they've got it. 1st and goal inside the 5. Cole Fotheringham.
That's a quarterback. He's seeing it really fast. He sees exactly. Again, they bid again. That is just a good job of being patient. Nice job with the play action, and then finding that tight end down the middle. It's the second time they've done it.
I love these young players going up against the Patriots starting defense and just moving the ball up and down the field.
Stidham's 4 for 5, 72 yards after he hit 70% in the game against Miami last weekend.
Throw it away.
Stidham rolls and chucks it out, hearing Rich Gannon from up here in the booth.
Throw it away.
Yeah, smart.
1st and goal. Throw it away.
Matthew Judon was given chase.
So important. You talk about the decision-making at the quarterback position. We can talk a lot about the qualities that you love in terms of footwork and arm talent, but the decision-making, that's one of the most important criteria for playing that position. Can you put the team in a position to have a chance to win each week by making good decisions each time out?
2nd and goal with White in the backfield. The pitch to Zeus, trying to get to the outside, and he does. Touchdown Raiders from 4 yards out behind Jackson Barton, the left tackle.
A really nice looking block and well-designed play.
Nice
I love offensive linemen that can get out and run. You just watch the tackle's going to pull. You just watch the toss. They seal the edge. You get a good block by the receiver. He seals it, and then White, you just see the speed, Matt, to the edge.
I don't know what that was from Barton. It looked like he had a... I don't know what that thing was.
Well, with the exception of Colton Miller, who will likely be the starter out there on the left side, that's a group that could be called upon for a lot of minutes for the Raiders up front when the regular season rolls around. You guys asked for it, and you got it. A takeaway for the Raider defense, and then they are able to cash it in on offense. The rookie Zamir White wins the edge. How about a 5-play, 32-yard drive under 2 minutes for the Raiders to score off the turnover? It was Zamir White, a 4-yard touchdown run courtesy of the Luke Masterson interception and the 10-0 lead.
So a lot of things go into a touchdown run, right? And most of the time, your big guys are doing the blocking. But in this particular time, I want you to watch these two guys. If they don't make these blocks, he can't get out. And that is just really well done by Johnson and DJ Turner. And, of course, Zeus has a nice, easy run into the end zone.
And, Matt, I said it earlier in the preseason. If you don't block on the perimeter, you won't play here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a receiver, you better show up and block in the running game.
Jones hit after the release, going deep. Incomplete. Yeah, that receiver conversation, guys. Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Mac Hollins. Yep, there's 3. Are you going to keep all of Keelan Cole, DJ Turner, and Ty Johnson? That would be 6 guys.
No, it's going to be crowded, just like it's going to be on the defensive side. Amik Robinson, that's a nice job of him coming off the edge and actually doing a good job of kind of staying off the quarterback. Especially in today's football where you just kind of sneeze on them and they fall.
I'd be surprised if they keep 6. I think they'll keep 5 wide receivers. I really do.
Oh, good defense.
Good job by the guys up front.
Tayshawn Bauer did a nice job of staying and getting some leverage all the way and get inside out. And the guys came in and just handled their business. This is just really nice. Where the heck are they? I can't find them anymore. Go ahead and start it. There you go. Right there. So he comes behind the backside, but you saw Bauer on the front side just handled that whole thing.
And that's working against that starting O-line for the most part. For the Patriots, their starters staying out there for this first quarter.
As long as you have the quarterback in there, Mac Jones, you'll have that starting offensive line in there for sure.
Another chance for a 3rd down stop. Leaking out is Hunter Henry. It's going to be close. The spot will have him just short of the 35, and it's 4th down.
They're going to punt it.
Looks like the punt unit will come out. Well, we've talked about the roster breakdown, and Matt, you were high on the 5s. 5 guys at each position. Is that where you think it's going to land for the Raiders?
I mean, look, they're going to do a roster tomorrow or whenever their cut down is. And as a team, there's going to still be guys who are going to be moving, right? This team won't be set until about week 4. That's usually what happens in today's football.
They had 5 at each position. That was the roster on opening day last year for the Raiders by comparison.
That was
Fair
a great
catch for
punt.
Turner back inside the 10, a 57-yard boot. It's all Raiders early. 10-zip on this alumni weekend on the Strip. Get your gear ready for the start of the regular season, September 11th at the Chargers. They will face all 3 AFC West Division foes in the first 5 weeks of the season before that bye in week 6. Chase Garbers is on at quarterback. His preseason 12 for 18, 108 yards, has done some good legwork as well.
Yeah, I think the reason they made the decision to move on from Mullins and trade him was because what they saw with Chase Garbers in the preseason and through the practices and the OTAs. It's been impressive.
Rookie out of Cal. The Raiders offense so far, the touchdown and field goal, they do not have a negative play yet. Here's the 13th play of the quarter for the Raiders offense. Garbers out of the gun. drops it off. Britton Brown out of the backfield and carrying a defender with him, pulling him out to the 15.
It was one of the things that Josh McDaniels talked a lot about from the start. They want to be a good screen team. Screens are all about timing and getting everybody on the same page. And so what you're going to see, it's about everybody being on the same page and the same timing at the same pace. Actually, Britton Brown did a nice job of running out of that tackle and giving them a chance here on third down.
They're not there yet. His coach told us he's not really happy with where they are in the screen game. They've got to get better, but it's about reps, man. It's about doing it over and over again.
They're going to get this offensive line straightened out.
There's a third down and 3. 4-man pressure. Garbers eludes one and not the second. Got the pass away, but Judon took him down, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Judon did a nice job. As Garber did a nice job not to take the sack there.
We've come to the end of the first quarter of this final preseason game for Raider Nation. 10-0. Las Vegas on top. You're watching Raiders football, presented by Credit One. Nothing. Raiders. Zamir White with a touchdown run for the 2nd game in a row, and Daniel Carlson a 23-yard field goal. And the punting unit is now on for Las Vegas. Our first look at A.J. Cole. Marcus Jones is back deep. These two teams very familiar with one another. They have spent the week together, a couple of scrimmages midweek, and now game day here at Allegiant Stadium to close out the preseason. Of course, the familiarity there with Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick as McDaniels arrives for season number 1 after his longtime commitment to the Patriot way. And the return out across the 35 for the Pats. When we talked to Josh about the scrimmages, he said you got to be instinctual, you got to read your keys, and the biggest thing we took from it was in big situations this year we cannot let the best guys beat you. Got to locate them, and that's what they were doing this week.
You have to be able to identify guys. That's the main thing. But look, these were 2 really productive days. Now, I had an opportunity to be here and watch things. The thing that impressed me most about it's Josh, really, but I'm watching it on both sides, right? They like to put their players into positions that don't make them comfortable and see exactly what they're capable of. I think that's smart football. I think Coach Belichick does that a lot, and I think Josh picked that up from him, and I think that's a great way to go.
A really different philosophy, though, in this last preseason game. Matt, Coach Belichick playing the starters into the 2nd quarter. We really haven't seen many of the top starters from the Raiders' offense or defensive units playing all of the preseason. And remember, we've got 16 days between tonight and the start of the regular season for the Raiders, September 11th. So you see what they do. I'm sure they'll have some inter-squad practices and padded practices to get themselves physically and mentally ready for week 1.
Yeah, I think those 2 scrimmages went a long way. You saw exactly what they're doing. I mean, Devontae Adams was really good.
The connection, Carr and Adams, was something to see.
I think Raider fans are just dying to see that combination live and in person.
I think they want to see the edge rush combo together for the first time, and Chandler Jones and Max Crosby on the defensive side. Jones, the crossing route completion across the 50 and into Raider territory. I think the other big thing right on Raider Nation minds is, when's Waller ready?
Yeah.
I mean, is he good to go right now, and just a matter of getting him back to 100%?
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. It's just like getting some pressure. That was just a 3-man rush. They dropped 5 underneath, and because they had time, they were able to find the holes. So I just think I think you're gonna like what this defensive front can do. They can get pressure. They're a little bit older in the middle, and they don't have a lot of depth there for the D tackles. So I think the middle of the season on is a concern, because sometimes you worry about the older guys just kind of wearing out.
Jones down to the 45 and a completion to Kendrick Bourne. I think the expectation would be for Jonathan Hankins and Bilal Nichols to join Jones and Crosby up front, and then you may have some youngsters behind them. The 2 draft choices, Matthew Butler, Neil Farrell, having an impact this preseason in the middle there.
The guy who's had a pretty good preseason here has been Sam Webb, 48, that corner. He's a sure tackler. He plays his position very well. He's got good speed.
Down to the 42 for J.J. Taylor, and it's going to set up a 3rd down and short.
Let's see what they got here. I think Deshaun Bauer also has had himself a good preseason. Yep. 96 out there. He's done himself and had a good showing.
The linebacker Luke Masterson with an interception in the first quarter tonight. As the crowd rises. Jones against the 4-man pressure, looking deep downfield and incomplete. Looking for Parker, Sam Webb had the coverage, and the safety Isaiah Polamalu coming over to keep an eye on things. 4th and 3, and it looks like Mack and the offense might stay.
Yeah, I think old Bill Belichick is saying, stay on there, get the thing.
I'm sure he's frustrated. I'm sure he's concerned, Matt, with the way this offense, the starting offense of the Patriots has looked through the preseason. Talk a lot about different play callers that they've had. I think they've settled on Matt Patricia, but man, they have not looked really sharp offensively in the preseason.
Mack on 4th down, and he's got it to the 30-yard line, and Kendrick Bourne. Jones is now 8 for 11 here in this first half, and a gain of 12.
That was a nice throw in a small hole. Really well done. They're just having the zone. Meek Robertson needed to pay a little bit more attention to Tua to the outside, right? So you can't just field zone drop. You have to get a feel, know where the guys are.
Off of the 4th down conversion, Jones will work out of the gun on 1st and 10 from the Raiders 30.
Man right here, all the way through.
Jones slings that down to the 15, and another 1st down to Hunter Henry. Gain 16 more.
Crosby had him man all the way. He's just crossing up top. He took inside leverage, and he just used it.
And Hunter Henry's a good one. The Patriots have always featured the tight end in the offense, going back to the days of Gronk, and Hunter Henry was a big addition coming over from the Chargers a couple years ago.
Jones on 1st down, feels the pressure behind, and then has to dive before Keyshawn Bauer came back around the back door to get him. 2nd sack for the Raiders defense here in the first half.
Yeah, really nice job. He's going to see him come. He's going to get washed around, and he comes all the way back. I mean, it's just good X.
That's the key right there.
But just really good job there by Bauer not giving up on the rush.
Right, and Lancaster forced him back inside. So really, he's going to get the sack, but Lancaster should get the assist.
And that's the 4th negative play from this Raider D.
Similar play on the touchdown that the Raiders had.
Tiptoeing down the sideline. It looks like 1st down yardage for Stevenson. Did he get inside the 5, or they're going to say he stepped out prior to that?
That's big Trent Brown, the old Raider who was here. One of the things that when he was here, he didn't move that well. It looks like he moved pretty good right there.
They say he stepped out back at the 7th.
He had a difficult time, Matt, staying healthy, staying on the field.
Yeah. Big man
for him. He is a big man.
Yeah. Big man. One of the problems when you have big men who aren't that fast, it kills your screen games or plays like that where you want to get him out in front. But he's moving pretty good there.
3rd down and 4. Jones. Back shoulder touchdown, Devontae Parker, and a flag at the end of the play.
That's with Webb.
Webb thought he got pushed. And it looks like it will go against the Patriots.
Pass interference on the offense, number 1. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
At the bottom of your screen. Well, I don't really see much there.
Do I.
Wow.
I don't see it much at all. Although,
there's a better look at it.
That looks like
that's a good look at it.
Yeah.
That's actually a better look. It's a good call. Can't extend the hands. There's a lot of jostling going on and pushing and shoving. But when you extend the hand, Matt, that's usually when that flag comes out of the pocket of the official.
3rd down and 14 now after the penalty. Jones looking left again, has to scramble. And he will chuck it away.
Threw it away, get the 3.
Zach Van Valkenburg came after him, and so did Tayshawn Bauer.
I like what Bauer's been doing this year. Van Valkenburg does a nice job on the front side, Tayshawn on the back side. He's had a pretty good preseason. Van Valkenburg's one of those guys, too. You might want to keep him around. I think you can develop him.
Undrafted free agent rookie out of Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa kid. Kirk Ferentz always has really tough kids. And Iowa programs well-coached teams.
The field goal attempt here from 35 yards out for Nick Folk. And it is good. Gets the Patriots on the board. 10-3 Raiders here in the second quarter in Las Vegas. The Patriots get on the board with the field goal. 11 plays in 5.5 minutes, but it's a 10-3 Las Vegas lead. Looks like Turner and Johnson are the deep men here on the kickoff unit for the Raiders. Jake Bailey would boot it away. And the strong showing thus far for this Raiders defensive unit, guys. Making plays, getting takeaways.
Well, you always want to have negative plays, right? That's one right there. That's a positive play for the defense, negative for the offense. Masterson, right place, right time. They've also done a good job today getting pressure up front. So they've been doing it without having to stunt a lot. They've just been tenacious. And so you see Tayshawn Bauer right there, a little help from his friends, and he picks up a sack. That's been consistent now in this game against that first team offense.
4 sacks already for Bauer this preseason.
Yeah, I think that's best. I think
he's played really well.
The preseason around the NFL. Garbers with the play action. Deep ball. Johnson has to come back to get it, and he does. Caught down at the Patriots 30-yard line and a gain of 45.
He hung it up a little bit, Rich, or he had an opportunity for a really big play. If he'd have thrown it out there, Johnson's got the speed to be able to take advantage of this coverage.
That little play action, you see the middle of the field open up. And a better throw here, Matt, he may score. See, that thing leaves the screen. It's almost like a punt.
Yeah, exactly.
And you find out as a young quarterback, you got to get it up and down quick or these guys will outrun you. You won't be able to reach them. Yeah. Ron Johnson's got some rare and unusual straight line speed.
Yeah, he does. He's got a little bit of Cliff Branch in him.
That's what sets him apart. First and down again. Garbers gets out of it. And he'll run for about 7 or 8 and get out of bounds. By the way, for every Raiders first down at Allegiant Stadium this year, America First Credit Union will be donating $100 to the Raider Foundation.
That could get expensive, Beth. I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of first downs with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr, and Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfrow. It's going to be a fun offense to watch.
We're not seeing them play tonight, but they're averaging over 7 yards per play. This group of Raiders here in the first half tonight.
And quietly, Rich, this offensive line is playing pretty good.
Yeah. Jordan Meredith is in there now, so is Dylan Parham and Alex Barrs up front.
Going to be 3rd and short.
Jabril Peppers on the stop, the former Michigan standout.
He's been a good player wherever he's gone, Peppers.
We've watched this offense now, this backup offensive unit. Last week go against the Miami Dolphins and move the ball effectively, Matt. We're seeing it again tonight against the Patriots starter. It's a good sign, I think, when you look at the depth and the talent that this football team has really on both sides of the ball.
Leatherwood's in there at right tackle as well on this 3rd down and 1. They'll try and run for it. Britton Brown has got it inside the 20. And back to the red zone for the Raiders, and then a late flag behind the play.
Holding. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And the first penalty of the night on the Raiders is Nick Bowers, the tight end.
He knows better than that.
Yeah, he's right here.
82 right there.
Walked back.
Well, I see Royce.
So instead of the first down, now a 3rd and 11. That wasn't there for the Raiders. Garbers throws it into the dirt.
Did the right thing.
4th down.
Yeah, I don't know where the back got to on that.
Tied up, man.
Did he? Is that what it was?
He got caught up in the wash. Good job by the young quarterback throwing it away, avoiding a negative play.
There's a flag. I don't know what that's for.
A late one.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback got outside the pocket. Ball got to the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
That wasn't even close.
All right, so Carlson will attempt his 2nd of the ball game. This a 50-yarder. We saw Daniel hitting from 60 in pregame tonight.
I'm with a lot left over. That thing could have been from 65 to 70.
You know, he's been so consistent. 5 game-winning field goals last year. He was 40 of 43 on the season.
Boot is en route.
I mean, he crushed
And
that.
it's good.
Guy's money.
He crushed that thing. He hit the middle of the net.
13-3 Raiders. Raider alumni and their guests were welcome to Las Vegas with a private reception on Thursday as part of Raider Alumni Weekend.
There's Pops.
More fun to come tonight. They're gathered inside the Wynn Field Club here at Allegiant Stadium and will be recognized during a special on-field ceremony at halftime. Here's a look at some of the fellas, over 300 strong. We just watched Daniel Carlson hit a 50-yard field goal. You think of some of the great special teamers that the Raiders have had over the years with Blanda and Janikowski, Guy and Leckler. I mean, some of the return guys in Raider history.
And a name, Preston Riddlehuber. You remember who that is?
Tell us.
He's on the Heidi game. He's the one who recovered the fumble, the Preston Riddlehuber. And just for the record, my neighbor, Bill Olesic, when that happened and went off the air, he shot the television with his shotgun.
He wasn't the only one, man. I can tell you that. A lot of people were annoyed.
And you were a special teamer, Matt, right?
You're always on special teams, yeah. Did that for 12 years. Actually, one of the most fun times I had. When you have a Tim Brown or a Ira Matthews or a Greg Pruitt returning kicks, you get on my hip, and they will make the guys come to you. You don't have to go to them.
Brian Hoyer is the new quarterback here for the Patriots after they played their starters for much of this first half. And a good response from the Raider defense, holding the Pats to just the field goal. Carlson has a pair of them for the Raiders. Zamir White with a touchdown run tonight.
Hoyer's been around the block. Been in the league 14 seasons. He's played for New England. His first 3 years was in Arizona, Cleveland, Houston, Chicago. Back in New England for a short while. Indianapolis in the last 2 years with the Patriots. 39 career starts, so he's a veteran guy that they can count on, Matt, without having to give him a lot of reps.
Oh, yeah.
Blair dumps it off underneath and a first down to J.J. Taylor. What did you enjoy about the festivities yesterday, Rich?
I just thought it was
some
great.
of the old-timers.
You know, 300 players, former players that are here from all different eras, Beth, and it was just great to be with everyone. A lot of the wives were able to make it in as well. And I just, you know, I had an opportunity to see Mrs. Davis. There's Marcus Allen. You know, to thank Mark Davis. Not a lot of organizations go to this extent to spend the money and to bring these players in and really recognize their contributions to such a great organization.
Great defense. That is really good defense. Nice job coming up from the secondary with force. Nice job by the backer coming inside out. Really well done. I agree with you. You know, I know there's some places out there that are just really pathetic when it comes to this. But Mark Davis does a great job. He believes that once a Raider, always a Raider, you think. That's legit with him. Have a bunch of guys come back. It's a great time when you can.
He even coached you to mix and mingle a little bit in the lobby, didn't he? We were all lobby team this morning.
Yeah, how about it?
Beth Mowins, Rich Gannon, Matt Millen, and a good stick at the 40-yard line of Meek Robertson, who might be a guy behind Nate Hobbs in the slot on that final roster of 53.
That's a nice job by Meek. Great awareness, right? You have to read as you're dropping. You have to see things, right? You're seeing receivers like usually 1, 2, 3 from the outside, and then if they're not there, your eyes have to come from the other side. You have to see what's coming into you. That time he did a nice job. Sets up this third down.
Third and 6.
Oh, great job by Webb.
Short. Sam Webb, who had that big hit to jar the ball loose and force a turnover in the Miami game last weekend, keeps him behind the first down line here.
They're in nice tight coverage the whole time. See how he stays on his hip? Right where he needs to be. And then on the top side, that top arm goes for the ball and the back arm is on the hip. Hoyer throws it, gets some pressure on the inside there. Butler does a nice job. That's good defense.
If you're looking for a guy that might be working his way into one of those final spots, Sam Webb making his case. And the Raider defense forces another punt. See if Turner will get an opportunity.
He's got some room. Sure does.
I like that kid. Did I mention that?
The 20. President of the DJ Turner fan club. By the way, we're going to hear from the legendary Tim Brown in the third quarter tonight. 13-3, Raiders over the Patriots. 3:07 to go in the first half. Tonight's Mic'd Up is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun today. Come on, D. Let go, D. Let's get a stop, y'all.
Neil Farrell Jr. with the microphone, a fourth-round pick after he starred at LSU.
One of the better nose tackle prospects coming out, played for a national championship in college. Big-time power presence inside that can hold the point of attack and control the two gaps with the leverage and his ability to kind of hold his ground.
Chase Garbers just outside the 20. Austin Walter is in at tailback. Third-year man out of Rice. Garbers stepping up. They'll slide for about 3 or 4.
Smart play. Good coverage by the Pats. Nice job. Just does a good job taking it, tucking it, and taking off and run, picking up what's there.
He's got a good feel for the rush. You know, it's so important at the quarterback position to be able to step up inside, trust the protection when it's not there. You know, pull it down. Get what you can get, then protect yourself.
Walter, nice hole up the middle, gets out across the 30 to set up a 3rd and short.
You know, I remember we said the running back room is a really competitive room. This is one of those guys. This is a good player. This is one of those guys who's he'll float around the league. If he doesn't stick here, he's going to float around the league someplace. Might be able to keep him here if they can get him through.
Raiders just 1 for 4 on 4 downs tonight.
This is the 2-minute warning.
We've reached the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 13-3, Las Vegas. You're watching Raiders football, presented by Visit Las Vegas. Once a Raider, always a Raider. Very evident on this alumni weekend at Allegiant Stadium. Enjoying this first half. 13-3 Raiders. 2 minutes to go. Chase Garbers spread them out here. 5 wides. couple of field goals and a touchdown run for Zamir White. The scoring for Las Vegas, and the throw incomplete at the 35, intended for Isaiah Zuber.
Had a chance. He wanted to go a little cross action up there, and as soon as he got maybe a little pick, but they didn't quite get it. Ball was thrown accurately in there, but a lot of traffic with Zuber.
And A.J. Cohen to punt it away. Marcus Jones back around his own 20-yard line. The first punt for A.J. went 63 yards.
This kid can hit the ball, and he gets some Ray Guy in him. That ball gets up. This one not as well, but.
So this is Jones all the way back close to the 5-yard line. He'll bring it out to the 20. Wrapped up by Luke Masterson. Another 63-yard punt. The return of 13.
Well, if you're going to make the team and you're a linebacker, this is one of the things you have to be able to do. You have to play special teams, and you have to be able to be active in it. Masterson does a nice job along with that pick. Good movement. The kid can run. I think he'll have a place to stay here in Las Vegas.
I can't see how he couldn't, Matt. You know, he's making plays. He had the interception earlier. He's been playing a lot of snaps. He's wearing the green dot on the helmet, getting all the calls and communicating, making plays in the kicking game.
And a pass out across the 20. Tayshawn Bauer, whose name we continue to call. I think the expectation, guys, right? The linebacking core, some sort of combination of Denzel Perryman, Jayon Brown, and Divine Diablo, guy that emerged last year at the spot. And then the rookies could be quality reserves and good special teams guys, both Butler and Masterson.
Just kind of a high-low concept here. Time to throw. Make the throw.
Running a 2-minute drill. Hit.
Bauer.
Ball is out. Raiders had first crack at it and could not corral it. Byron Tungavailoa Amosa looked like he got there first, but it ends up with J.J. Taylor.
Yeah, watch Bauer. He just doesn't stop, right? Takes him inside. He's going to go inside out right there, back to the outside, and just slap that arm. Gets the fumble. Yeah, so it was
Well, he's got some moves, Matt. You know, he's not just...
He's tough.
Not just trying to beat you with the speed. He can bull rush you a little bit. He can study you. You have to have multiple moves to be a really good pass rusher in this league. And he's showing some flashes. That's his fifth sack.
A couple of things
this
here.
preseason.
First off, we had a fumble under 2 minutes. Only the fumbling player is allowed to recover it. The offense recovered, but we need to go back to the spot of the fumble, which was the 30-yard line, and it'll be second down. We had an injury to the defense, which under 2 is a timeout. So that is Las Vegas's first charged timeout of the first half.
The injured player was Tungavailoa Amosa, who will come to the Raiders sideline.
Bauer's had himself a heck of a preseason here.
That's another negative play, guys.
Yeah. That's good.
You can never have enough good pass rushers, Matt, especially in the AFC West when you're going against Russell Wilson twice and Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes.
What a division they're in. Holy
crazy.
Smokes. It's just cyclical, but it is strong from top to bottom in that AFC West.
Well, you better have, you know, as I said, better have pass rushers and cover corners. That's going to be key. And I just think, you know, you look at the play of Bauer, and you look at what you have sitting on the bench right now, and Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. Got some guys that can cut it loose and get some pressure on the quarterback, and that's so important in the AFC West.
We'll see Herbert on opening day, that epic regular season finale a year ago that the Raiders won in overtime to get into the playoffs.
12 seconds. Clock will start on the snap.
I think Frank Oakham, the D-line coach, has done a nice job here. Really, these guys are coming along nice. I expect them to continue that. He's done a good job.
After the loss loss of 8, 2nd and 18. Claire, open underneath is Taylor, and he'll get back out across the 40 in a gain of 12.
Taylor, of course, is the one who just picked up that fumble. At least he kept possession.
Under a minute to go in the half.
You see that snapper there for the Patriots? That's Kirk Ferentz' son, head coach of Iowa.
3rd and 6, Hoyer misfires, and it's 4th down.
Good coverage.
It was Ike Brown covering Trey Nixon.
Yeah. Better throw it had him, though. He had a little bit on him.
Another good job by the defense getting off the field.
Yep.
Been really impressed, Matt, with this group. You know, you look at all the changes and young players coming on and off the field. For the most part, you know, 2/3 of that first half was with the starters. You know, Mac Jones played most of the first 6-7 series offensively for the Patriots.
Justin Hall back deep to receive the punt from the 13. Hall with the cutback to get out across the 25 to the 27, a return of 14 yards. 32 seconds here for the Raiders to work with.
First half, pretty productive. Actually, the offensive line hasn't played poorly. I thought they played actually pretty well.
This is a different group than what we saw to start the game. You got Leatherwood in there at the right tackle position. He has to continue to work at his craft, continue to get better with his sets. I think most importantly, Matt, just using his hands, that punch.
Yeah. He needs to be patient. He gets overextended quite a bit.
Garber's under duress, and down he goes. Daniel Equale gets the first sack of the night.
Off the edge.
First charge, timeout, New England. 30-second timeout, and I need 26 seconds on the game clock. 26.
Too soft on the right side.
Yeah. Well, Leatherwood got pushed back as well. His man didn't get there. Came from the outside, but you got to be able to sit down on that.
If you see Leatherwood, it's actually the inside. It's the defensive tackle that spins back around.
Yeah, but see how the pressure he gets from the inside. There's nowhere to step up because it took him down too far.
Second down.
An opportunity for a screen here. There it is.
Looking that way, and Garbers cannot.
Should have been a play caller. Should have been a play caller, Beth. I'm wasting my time up here in the booth with you guys.
You're our play caller, buddy.
There's still time, Rick.
Pretty obvious. You got 2nd and long, and as a defense, you're thinking screen or draw. Raiders have really worked hard this preseason to be a better screen team. I think it's going to be really important. I think it's going to serve them well. Take some of the edge off that pass rush.
I agree with you.
Come hell or high water was the phrase that Josh McDaniels used. We will be a better screen team this year. 3rd down, Garbers. Caught across the 35 by Keelan Cole. It's going to be just short.
Trying to get a timeout here.
Second charge, timeout. Las Vegas, 30-second timeout.
8 seconds to go in the half.
This took a while to develop.
10 seconds on the game clock, please, 10.
Just watching all the way across the field. I thought it was really good patience by the quarterback. Chase Garbers just sitting in there. And even though it wasn't a pretty throw, Matt, it was an accurate one.
Yep.
To Chase Cole. Or to Keelan Cole, I'm sorry.
Cole does a nice job of keeping that defender on his hip, just runs away from him. They take a long time to develop, so you got to have good protection. Those deep crossing routes.
Well, after the timeout, the Raiders now decide to send out the punt unit. Raiders offense, by the way, will have the football to start out the second half. A pair of 63-yard boomers from A.J. Cole in the first half, and this one he's trying to find that sideline, and he does.
That'll end the half.
Is that it? A little chatter from the special teams fellas. And that'll take care of the first half, 13-3. Raiders with the lead over the Patriots here at Allegiant Stadium in this final preseason set 2. And Josh McDaniels is on with us.
Well, Coach, a lot like last week, a good opportunity for some of your young players offensively to go up against the Patriots starters and come away feeling pretty good about what they put out there.
Yeah, we got off to a good start again. Made some plays in the passing game, converted a couple third downs there, and made some chunk plays. You know, we knew going into this game they're not a team that you drive it 12 or 13 plays, you have trouble scoring points. So needed to make some chunk plays, and we did.
Josh, I thought the defense held up pretty well. I thought you got the negative plays you're talking about and turnovers. So I think big step in the right direction there.
No question. You know, we're trying to play penalty-free, trying to create turnovers on defense, and trying to hang on to the ball and take care of it on offense. And I think our guys know what we want to try to do. And today, again, I think we made some plays here in the first half that'll help us.
Go get them. Have a good one.
You got it. Thank you.
Right.
Raiders take the lead into the intermission. We've come to the end of the first half with our score. Las Vegas 13, New England 3. Coming up at halftime, James Jones sits down with his former teammate and good friend Davante Adams as Alumni Weekend in Las Vegas continues. 1 half to go in preseason week number 3. Well, Raiders star wide receiver Davante Adams has been turning heads all training camp, but he still found the time to sit down with former Raider James Jones. The two friends talked about head coach Josh McDaniels' offense, this year's training camp, Raiders history, and more.
I'm here with my dude, BA17. How I feel, bro? How I feel to be a Las Vegas Raider? I was about to say Oakland Raider because I was an Oakland Raider. How I feel to be a Las Vegas Raider, man?
I feel great, man. I've been having a great time here with my new teammates, my new squad so far. So been cool, man. Been enjoying Josh and his staff. It's a real fun atmosphere. Yeah, it been good, man. Just trying to gel with these guys.
Speaking of Josh, I'm watching y'all out there on the football field. Y'all running routes I ain't never seen. Just talk to us a little bit about the offense and the freedom he's giving you.
Yeah, me in particular, he's giving me a lot of freedom to be me within the offense. But like you said, it's a lot of routes that I never even ran before. That's, different concepts, and it's just a whole new feel. It's a pretty complex offense for sure. It's one of probably the most complex one I've ever been a part of. But it's good because it allows me to be able to move around. Obviously, play in the slot, be outside, motions and things like that. And, that's not giving anything away because that's you've seen it in the past from just different bodies that had the opportunity to do that. So, but I love how open Josh has been to my feedback of the way that I like to run certain routes, and same with Hunter and Darren and all the guys really. So it's been good. I'm kind of finding a new me within this offense because I'm able to I've been able to do what I've done in the past, but able to put my own little flavor on a couple of these routes and make some plays. So we're gonna see how it goes.
Now we all know y'all division, big time. You got Dangerous over there. Obviously, you got Herbert over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a big time division. We already know who over there in Kansas City and Patty Mahomes. What do y'all got to do to really be that team to kind of take over this division?
We got to be who we expect to be, really, and that's just go out there and stack the days and put together the work that will prove the type of roster that we have. Because at the end of the day, just because they go and get Chandler, they get me, and they pay Max and do all of these things, like all of that stuff look good on paper, but at the end of the day, that's not what actually wins the games at all. And you've seen teams that have great, rosters on paper go out there and not be great teams because they don't know how to work together. They don't know how to play situational football. They don't know, they don't know how to just, like I said, gel together as one. And football is the most team sport that there is. So at the end of the day, just because you grab me, don't mean we're going to go and win the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, that's everybody's goal. That's no secret. So everybody trying to come out here and stack those days, but it's just about coming out here doing what I got to do and putting as much on myself to, carry this team the way that I, am capable of doing. And, the same with Derek and the same for, from the top to the bottom.
Now, we both from the Bay Area. Now, we both play for the Green Bay Packers. When I came to the Oakland Raiders, the first time I put on that uniform, I was like, ooh. Yeah. It just was a different feel. You haven't had a chance to play a real game yet, but you had a chance to get out there and put your uniform on for a preseason game. What did it feel like the first time you put that uniform on compared to a Packers uniform? Because it's a different feel.
It's a different feel, man. It's a different feel. And, me, I stay in the black anyway, so that it kind of just feel natural to me, man. And like we talked about, I've talked about with everybody at this point is I grew up a Raiders fan, so I've been wearing the colors growing up and never got a chance to put that jersey and the pads on though. So to have that on, it was a special feeling. Walk around the locker room, people looking at me, they're like, man, you look good in that black and silver, man. So it's a good feeling, and I'm just trying to go out there and make some plays in it now.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you sitting down with your boy, man. Yes, go get it this year, brother.
Got you. Go get it.
Well, Raiders alumni and their commitment to excellence, both on and off the field, has laid the foundation for the Raiders organization's success. As the heart and soul of the Raiders family, they continue to make the organization proud with their dedication to the community, team, and each other. They continue to carry on the Raiders' legacy, tradition, and brotherhood by forever embodying the mantra, once a Raider, always a Raider. Back here at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas as we get set to start the second half. A big alumni celebration down on the field at halftime that featured the 3 Super Bowl MVPs. Fred Biletnikoff, Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen all spoke to the fans here. A 13-3 lead, Raiders over the Patriots, who have been in town all week long practicing. They had the couple of scrimmages. And boy, did Bill Belichick come away impressed with the Raiders' facilities.
Oh, man, this is magnificent. Been a lot of good facilities. There have been some amazing college facilities, but I don't put this up there against any of them. I mean, forget about the amenities, but just the fields, the weight room, the offices, the indoor facility, the proximity, the ease of everything. This is as good as any I've seen. Better than any I've seen. Not as good. It's better than anything I've seen. So it's outstanding.
He went on to call it the Taj Mahal. And Belichick and the Patriots enjoying their stay here in the desert this week.
One thing about Bill Belichick, he knows the history of this game inside and out. And he's a big player fan. So any former player, he will take the time to talk no matter when, no matter what. He is always an affable, open guy. He's one of my favorites. Been like that since he was in New York.
Here's a look at your stats from the first half. Impressive in the yards per play for that Raider attack. White with a touchdown run, a couple of field goals for Daniel Carlson. Bill Belichick now in his 23rd season, his 6 NFL titles, tied for the most with George Halas and Curly Lambeau.
Bill Belichick had some conversations over the years with Al Davis about coming to Oakland. Matt, you know about those.
Oh yeah.
When he was back with the Cleveland Browns, things didn't go well there.
Always has been a good coach. So we're going to look at this offensive line here in the second half, and there's some guys who are on a bubble, right? One of them is Alex Leatherwood, that right tackle. And so we'll take a look at him right here as in this series and see how he fares, because this is what he's got to do, right? That first play of this particular series, this guy made the tackle. So
he's a first-round pick last year who played both tackle and guard. Garbers Incomplete. Intended for Fotheringham.
Now a little bit of pressure. Let's watch Leatherwood here on the outside. So he's just got to be stronger at the point on that, right? You got to set and boom, punch and then kick. He's just kind of walking back a little bit right there.
We've seen Thayer Munford out there on occasion. Of course, Brandon Parker looked like he was stepping into that spot, and we haven't seen Parker since the first preseason game. Just whether or not he'll be ready to go on opening day. Ball jarred loose, and it pops out of bounds, out of the grasp of Austin Walter.
Well, he got some pressure, and the pressure came off the Leatherwood side. Okay, so look. See, he opens himself up. That's called opening the gate. So you got to stay square. You got to kick and stay square. Right there, he opens. See how he opens that right hip? And Mitchell just gets around him.
He never gets that initial punch on him either, Matt. You know,
you got to stay square.
To stymie him.
You got to sit back. You got to punch. Now, I've been around some great ones. Art Shell was phenomenal. Henry Lawrence was also an All-Pro. We had great tackles back in the day. He's a young player. He has time to learn, but he should be a little further ahead than he is.
Another good punt.
Oh, great punt.
Peppers catches it on the run and out of bounds with it. A 62-yarder, so that's the third of 60-plus on the evening for A.J. Cole.
It's such an advantage when you have good kickers. We talked about Daniel Carlson, how consistent he has been, but A.J. Cole, they can dramatically change field position. And that's the benefit of having a good kicker and a good punter.
Rich,
you were spoiled.
Oh, absolutely. So I was just going to say, you know, he changed this the image of all punters. So when Ray came in, he was a #1 pick for a punter, and he was worth every ounce of it.
And I had Shane Leckler.
Yeah,
it was a great one.
Guy, the only punter in the Hall of Fame. Leckler might be the second.
Leckler certainly has the career numbers, Beth, if you look at his body of work.
We're playing at the Super Bowl in the Superdome in 1980, the 1981 Super Bowl. And they had those speakers in the middle of the dome. And we're out there for pregame, and Ray hit the speakers like 4 or 5 times, and they had to raise the whole thing up. And in the middle of the game, after they had raised it, he kicked one and went inside the ring of those speakers. It was unbelievable.
Bailey Zappi is the new quarterback here, out to the 25-yard line. And little Jordan Humphrey to Sean Bauer with the stop.
Zappi's an interesting prospect. 4th-round pick this year out of Kentucky, Western Kentucky. He spent 2 years in a air raid offense at Houston Baptist. Was a 1-year starter at Western Kentucky, but the biggest guy is only 6 foot tall, but he can sling it.
Check seems to get those guys, doesn't he? Oh, nice job.
Snap, had to fall on it.
Nice job on the nose.
Is that Farrell pushing through there?
93 Farrell, yeah. Did a nice job. Got pressure on him.
Loss of 3. We've been saying a loss of a lot tonight. That's a good sign for the Raider D.
Yeah. Watch him take off. Watch, nice and low. Get under the pad level. Now push straight up. Really well done.
He was working on James Farron. So here's 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Looks like they're going to be sitting in the zone, too deep. Make the tackle.
Hit right at the line to gain on Matt Sokol from Polamalu, and it will depend on the spot.
Yeah, he's about a half-yard short.
And the punting unit will come on.
Well, it just looks so much more coordinated. You know, you watch this defense, Matt, just the communication, the drops, you know, playing the ball, rallying to the football, getting helmets on the ball.
Yeah, Pat Graham talked to us about one of the phrases he likes to use: as a unit, we have to defend the grass behind us. And so much of that is on communication and familiarity. There's a lot of new faces on both sides of the ball.
That's another shot. That's a heck of a punt, too.
Justin Hall, fair catches out of bounds. 10:45 to go early in this 3rd quarter of the final preseason game. rolling out the black carpet for the Raider alums. That was the halftime ceremony. And a great time for Raider alums like our Matt Millen and Rich Gannon up here in the booth, and families and friends hanging out in the Wynn Field Club down in the end zone to our left today.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting. So some of those guys are they're just your brothers. I mean, they're always your brother.
Eagles will run it on first down and out across the 20 for Britton Brown. Gain of 7.
When you go through a training camp with somebody, Matt, you go through a regular season, you spend time in the training room, the weight room, the meeting rooms. You get on a plane after a tough loss. I mean, you live with these guys.
Absolutely.
You really grow together as a brotherhood, and when you accomplish something special, winning a championship and doing things that are different, it leaves a lasting impression.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing with those guys, you're going through, wins are the easy part, losses are the hard part. Winning, I think the best thing that can happen to teams is the negative parts. That's always the part that you learn from. And especially, so back in the day, you're calling everything, and there's guys you rely on all the time. And so when you're learning in the middle of that learning curve, there's a lot of information coming on every single snap, right? Yeah. You get down and dirty on the sideline after everything's been going on, and you talk it through and how we can handle it. That's where the rubber meets the road. My guy was Rod Martin. Rod Martin, he's the first guy I went to out there. He was just a great player. He's a Pro Bowl guy. He's a powerful, strong kid, and he knew everything as well. So you run everything through those guys. Every time I see him, you can't help but appreciate him.
Well, and you get the vantage point from the outside. We heard Josh McDaniels talking about what a great atmosphere it's been in the preseason in here with Raider Nation, but he also talked about visiting with the alumni this weekend, and he said it just feels different here. You have the tradition, you have the history, you have kind of that outlaw mentality that I think you guys all grasp, right, when you put that jersey on. Oh,
yeah, that was a different time, though. The game in the league has changed.
Yep.
You can't have that in today's football. Josh knows that. So, we had smart players, but we led the league in penalties. We led the league in penalties, and we'd still won a Super Bowl. A couple times.
That's not going to happen anymore.
No.
I can promise you this team's not going to lead the league in penalties. He's looking for tough guys, smart guys, and they're going to clean up the mistakes, unforced errors.
Out into the flat. Horsted hangs on, takes a hit.
That's a late hit.
That may be a helmet-to-helmet they're going to call.
Flags are flying.
Josh McDaniels has talked a lot to this football team. Before we learn to win, we have to learn not to lose.
Right.
It's a big part of it. Yep. Doing the little things
Personal
right.
foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, number 3. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play.
Unnecessary roughness.
First down.
That's Jabril Peppers.
A lot more penalties on the opposition this preseason than on the Raiders.
So let's talk about the old days to today's game, and this is going to be a penalty. Here's the hit. Maybe it's just out of bounds. I don't see that, but they called it.
Man, you never see it when a defensive player hits.
I was waiting for that.
You just never see it that way. I don't know. It must be your glasses or something. You just don't see it.
The vision to find the ball carrier escapes him on those situations. Gerber's trying to extend the play, and he'll slide back out to the 45. Pick up a couple.
A defensive player could clothesline a quarterback like 5 seconds after the play is over. Matt will go, hey, that's a good hustle there by the guy. That's a good hit.
Not the quarterback. That was too obvious. But downfield, oh, boy, we got away with a lot. This is a 3-receiver route, right? So you got 1, 2, 3. And then you got your outlet on the outside. There's just no place to go. It's just good coverage, especially in the middle of the field inside here.
2nd and 8. Brown.
Oh, nice.
Cutback. Gets across midfield and may have another Raider first down.
He's short just by a tad, Beth, but let me tell you something. That was all Britton Brown. All him. He had nowhere to go. He bounced it outside, gave a little juke on the outside right. It's coming up right here. That's really nice. Well done.
Against the grain.
Nice stop and start quick.
Oh, yeah.
He had 9 carries for 70 yards the other day. And that
Right
Miami
there.
game.
That's good stuff.
Back at it. Let's see if they can convert a third down. They're just 1 for 8.
Low pad level wins.
Ooh, gonna be close.
Yeah, they don't have it.
They didn't give it to him.
No. This official right here.
Go for it here on fourth down.
It's not even left foot, right foot. He's short.
Normally in the regular season game with the score being what it is, you normally punt the ball here, but this may be an opportunity to go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so they didn't get any movement whatsoever at that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defender stood up Leatherwood there. Well, that is backside. 4th and 1. Brown again.
Ooh.
Stuffed.
Oh, he got stuffed, and he's short. They're
Did
turning
not
it over.
get it. The Patriots will take over on downs. Twice they tried up the gut. And twice the Patriots said,
They tried at the right side there. See, Leatherwood's not good.
Still 13-3 Raiders midway through the third. Tonight's thrilling moment is brought to you by Yamava. We go back to Tim Brown and his 1,000th career reception. Hey, we know that guy throwing it to him. The 1,000th catch came versus the Jets on Monday Night Football back in 2002. And Rich Gannon threw the pass on that day. So, Rich, we'll let you throw out the first question as Tim Brown now joins us from down on the field.
Well, I'll tell you, I was so lucky to play with some great players, but this is the smartest player that I ever played with, Tim Brown. You could put a game plan in on Wednesday morning, and he'd have it down by noon. Tim,
what's going on, Richie?
You gotta like what you're seeing from this Raider football team in 2022.
Man, I tell you what, man. You know, me and Lincoln Kennedy was talking last night. And I told him, I said, you know, the thing I like about what I'm seeing is everybody's in the right position at the right time. You know what I mean? And you don't seem to have guys like not knowing what they're doing in preseason, you know, like you usually do. I just think that's incredible, man. That they've gotten that system down to the point where they know how to make this thing work.
How's my rook doing?
Which one? Who is that?
What's up, Timothy?
Up, Matt
you
Miller?
doing okay?
Look, man, I tell you what, I tell people all the time, Matt Miller took care of me. I tell you what, man, we over at the Pro Bowl, and Matt said, Tim Brown, if you return this kick, I'm kicking your so-and-so. And they script kicked the ball and it barely got in the end zone, so I can doubt it because I didn't want to deal with Matt Miller.
Oh, that's funny, Timmy. How you been, Tim? You doing good?
I'm good.
All good?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I like with this team. I like this team. I like this offense. I like the defensive side as well. I think teams are going to be people are going to be pretty impressed with what they're going to see out of this offense.
Yeah, look, you know, when you have the weapons that they have, man,
right.
You know, the thing I like, Matt, is there are no more excuses around here, right? There's we don't have this and we don't have that. We have everything that we need to go win a championship, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And I think from that standpoint, the guys just got to go out and get it done, man. It's in the locker room now. The championship is to be won, and that's in the locker room. There's no, you know, coaches and all that stuff. All that's done.
Right.
We moved on, and let's go make this thing happen.
Tim, you were a Hall of Fame receiver. You played with other Hall of Fame receivers. We've got a special one in Devontae Adams. What do you like about his game?
You know, consistency, man. You know, I think that is the name of the game, brother. Obviously, you know, you can do something for one game or even 1 year, but to be able to come back and do it time after time after time, year after year, and everybody knows on 3rd and 5 where the ball is going to be going, and you still are able to get it done, hey, that's the name of the game, man. And he is that kid. He wants to get it done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him and Derek play together this year. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
I think the skill positions are set. I think that running back room is good. To me, the whole thing's going to be that offensive line and how well they come together.
Yeah, you know, it looks like these guys are playing well, though. They're playing well enough to make things happen, and that's all you can ask for, you know what I mean? So you're not going to be pancaking defensive linemen in this league, you know, but you just got to give these running backs room to do what they do and give Derek a little time to get the ball out, you know, and I think if they can do that, we should be good.
I completely agree with you. The other part that, Tim, that gets lost a lot of times is the special teams. And I think these young players are the guys who can fill those roles. But I remember your rookie year. I mean, you were tremendous at it. And so I think when you have that kind of guy who can do that, I think you got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't see starting receivers or running backs back there returning punts and kicks anymore. And I really think that's unfortunate, but I get it. You know, they're paying these guys so much money, they don't want to risk any injuries. But it's such an important part of what you're doing on the football field trying to win. You need guys back there who can protect the ball, make plays happen, and all those kind of good things. So we'll see, man. You know, I think, of course, we don't have that lightning guy back there right now. Hopefully somebody will come out of the pack and make something happen.
10-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of Alumni Weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
See you, Tim.
All right. Be good.
All right, that was a holding penalty on the Patriots. Second time here tonight that they had an apparent score wiped away by a penalty.
Yeah, they held to Sean Bauer. It looked like it was Jalen Whitemer. Yeah, you can see him right there. As he gets off, right, he was holding right there.
So push him back outside the 10. Still first and goal.
Playing his zone. Everything's a little tighter down here inside.
Missed tackle down inside the 10, and a good hit from Butler to knock down Matt Sokol. This has been a point of emphasis in training camp. No red zone touchdowns, hold them to 3 or less.
Ike Brown came up for the initial strike, but you've got to make that tackle.
Tyler Lancaster is the injured Raider. We'll be back in a moment. 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. A 10-point Raider lead. The pitch to Pierre Strong as the Patriots have ventured back inside the red zone, and Amik Robertson makes the play defensively.
He did a great job. First, he flattened him out, and then he tracked him down, and because he had force on the top side, he turned it back in, and Amik Robertson was able to make the play. That's well done. You watch him on the top. He's going to attack it right away. So now he flattens him out, right? So you got him going sideways, and because he had force on the top side, he's able to make that play. Well done.
That's their 6th negative play of the night. And now looking at a 3rd and goal. Zappi to the 5, and that's it for Josh Hammond.
Good defense. Keep everything in front of you. Down inside the red zone, the angles all change. It's tough for an offense. It's tough for the quarterback down there. Everything happens so fast. That's really well-played defense.
Even last week, I mean, this defense holding the opponent to field goals in this part of the field. So impressive. They'll be stingy. Great red zone defense.
It was nearly 80% last year for the defense, allowing touchdowns in the red zone. And a different story thus far in the preseason. The 22-yarder from Folk is good. 13-6, Raiders over the Pats. 3:07 to go in the third. Celebration on this alumni weekend for Raider Nation. Great to see a lot of the all-timers and members of the Raider family. They're all hanging out at the Wynn Field Club. A couple of them up here in the booth. I'm Beth Mowins along with Rich Gannon and Matt Millen.
A few of them look like they can still play, Beth, you know what I mean? I look at Marcus Sound. I think he's got a few carries left in him, Matt.
Oh, he does have a few carries. Richie Incognito still looks like he can play. He just
6 plays, 47 yards, and then the 22-yard field goal for Nick Folk. So Garbers and the offense are back out there. Leatherwood, Meredith, Bars now is at center. Barton and Bam Olaseni on that left side up front. Garbers. Cole has it, and he gets out to the 45-yard line, and a Raider first down.
First thing is they have good protection. That was a nice job by that offensive line that time. He gave Garbers some time to be able to throw, and then you're sitting in that zone, you can find the hole anytime. So they're just dropping. Just find the middle of that zone right there is exactly where they're at.
21 yards on that pickup for Cole. That's his second catch of the night.
Well
really
done.
Clean pocket.
Yep.
To Brown out of the backfield, the stiff arm across midfield, and he picks up about 6 more.
Rich, one of the things that always blew my mind was the timing that from the quarterback and how they know when to get rid of the ball, because you saw him, he was about to get drilled from behind, and the ball comes out that quick. Is that a feel?
Yeah, it is. I think part of it, Matt, is understanding protections, right? Understanding concepts. Also understanding what's the front and coverage. I mean, do I have the extra time to take the extra hit? Does the ball have to come out quick? I think the best quarterbacks in football know where their quick answer throw is.
That time you just got beat. Do you feel that, or do you hear it?
Yeah, you feel it, and you just know, hey, look, I got to get it out quick. Where's my quick answer? Is it the back? Is the receiver in the flat? That's impressive for a young quarterback. You know, you look at Chase Garbers, and he's been impressive. You know, he played a lot of football at Cal. I think that this coaching staff feels like he has a future. And I think they've got a really good quarterback.
I agree with you.
Looked impressive.
I like Jared Stidham. I think he's doing some good things. That's just good awareness by the defender to be able to get his hand up. An offensive lineman, you got to get that punch in there to get those hands down.
Another third down. The Raiders 1 for 9 tonight. Incomplete. Dylan Stoner trying to haul it in. Punting unit will come on.
In college football, you'd say, oh, that's a good effort. In pro football, you say you should have had it.
That's exactly it, man. You got to make that catch.
You got to make that catch. You want to make this team.
Look at that average, 56.3.
He is crushing it, literally. Your return guys are 50 to 60 yards downfield just to start. And they're still going backwards.
That's the field position game.
That's that Aussie pass. That's the one that hold the ball down and just kick it up nice and high.
36 yards, but the result a good one inside the 20. Cole.
Some of these guys like Cole, they are just so good. They can place the ball where they want it. They can get height if you need it. It's just...
Now watch the drop. He's going to point the ball face down. So this is a little bit different because he's just trying to kick it. He wants it to rotate and just pin it inside the 20. So these punters like Cole are really good at doing that. A bit of a different drop. You see Sig, the snapper, and Carlson, and those guys spend a lot of time together, the kicker, the punter, and the long snapper.
And I can't believe we're talking about kickers on a football game.
I knew Matt was going to bring that up.
Matt's getting uncomfortable now. He's getting ready to punch me.
Well, he's going to be even more uncomfortable because I want to talk about quarterbacks again. And what have you guys seen? We talk about the Derek to Devontae connection. And on opening day, it's going to be Carr to Adams. And what have you seen in this preseason and practice? What are you hearing from the coaches about how good they are going to be together?
I think Derek Carr is going to have a monster season. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we got to see him throw for 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a great supporting cast. Devontae Adams, I mean, I think they hit it off. They played college football together. I think you know what you're going to get every single play from Devontae Adams. Production, consistency, durability, toughness. And the big question I think Matt and I have, Beth, is just what's this offensive line going to look like? Are they going to give Derek Carr enough time and protection? to sit back there and to be the player that he can be. But we know what they got in Colton Miller. I think there's another 3 or 4 spots that they've got to get solidified coming out of preseason because, look, they've got Carr, they've got Derek Adams, they got Hunter Renfrow, they got Darren Waller. You got a couple of really good backs. You got to be able to play well up front.
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing in that offensive line right here, we talked about this a little earlier, you can help one guy, you can't help two. So they need at least one guy to become a legitimate player that doesn't need help and win his one-on-one battle, and then they'll be fine.
They're down 5. Zappi trying to go over the top. And a good pass breakup. Sam Webb got a hand in it. But here's what we're talking about with Carr and Adams. They go back to their days together at Fresno State.
How about that, huh?
Could be a huge reunion in silver and black.
Well, the thing that impresses me the most about Davante Adams is how smart he is. He knows what he wants to do. He understands his routes. He understands the field position. He understands his splits, all those things. And he talks about it, I mean, fluidly. He's just pretty darn sharp.
Justin Hall will get a running start from inside the 20. A return of over 20-25 yards for Hall. Showing the emotion. 27 on that comebacker. Coach likes it. Raiders have the ball back and a 13-6 lead as we get set for the 4th quarter. (13-6), Raiders over the Patriots at the start of the 4th. It's time for Rookie Spotlight, brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Then you look at Luke Masterson, linebacker from Wake Forest. You saw him standing there with Antonio Pierce, the linebacker coach, and he's going to be happy with what he saw tonight. So Luke has had a really good game, and special teams that you saw right there. You saw the pick, which is excellent. He's getting better every week. Every week he's learning something. It's a whole learning process, really, kind of for your first 2 to 3 years in this league when you start to understand the league. But right now, he's way ahead of the curve. I think that's a nice job of picking up Luke and putting him exactly where he needs to be, because that kid's going to be a player. He can run.
He's got a lot of reps in the preseason, which I think's really helped him. He's got the look. I mean, he just is around the football. He's instinctive. He's a good tackler. He's a playmaker in space. I really like his game.
Nice return from Justin Hall. Sets the Raiders up with the short field. Austin Walter picks up a couple. Cameron McGrone with the tackle.
You start getting into the 4th quarter as a head coach, and you really worry a little bit about some of these injuries, and you have a pretty good sense of who those final 53 players are, and man, at this point you probably get some of them out of the game.
Well, back in the day, Rich, so what you did here in the 4th quarter was you had your guys who were going down with the old injury.
I remember some of those conversations, where the coaches would say, hey, you're going to have to go down and just grab your knee or your back. That was another one. It's hard to point. It's hard to figure out the back injury.
First down, Raiders down to the 40-yard line. Walter with the catch out of the backfield.
Nice job here. Garbers, he has a good feel for what's happening in front of him. Watch up front, right? That's the first thing. And then he's got to understand. So he sees the coverage. He knows what his routes are. But he manages the pocket really well. He was getting some pressure on the right side there. Meredith didn't hold up as well as you'd like, and he was able to just step up and find it and then find the open receiver.
Chase Garbers 8 for 16, 109 yards. 1st and 10 Raiders. Short drop for Chase. Catch by Dylan Stoner. Let's look at the Raider roster breakdown for the offense last year on opening day. This time around, guys, there may be one less quarterback and tight end, maybe one more running back, wide receiver. What are we thinking?
Excuse me, Beth. One of the problems is you got to figure out who's in the practice squad, right? And the other thing is how many quarterbacks do we keep? Do we put one in the practice squad? I'm curious how many receivers, tight ends, and backs the Raiders decide to keep.
Well, the back room is a good room. The receiver room is a good room. The tight end room is a good room. I mean, this team's got a lot of good players.
I think we're going to see a couple players get traded. I think in the next week, I think there's an opportunity. I think there's some players, as Matt points out, particularly in the running back room.
Yep.
I think there's a team or two that would have some interest, and I think there's an opportunity to trade a player, maybe pick up another offensive lineman. I think when you look at, the wide receiver group, there's probably a player or two there that another team would have some interest in.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with this Garbers kid. It's the first time I've had a look at them in the last couple of weeks, but this kid he keeps his eyes down the field. He's got a feel for the pocket. He plays with some poise. He's impressive.
And you could tell he played a lot of football in college. And that's, when you start evaluating these players coming out, particularly players that don't get drafted, in free agency, you want players that have played, that have game experience, that played at a major college program like Cal.
Dave Ziegler's done a really good job. It's an excellent year for him in terms of draft and also picking up free agent players.
I think that's a combination, Matt, of, like you said, the general manager, Dave Ziegler, doing a nice job. I think the coaching staff, we watched both units, offense, defense, even the kicking game. We're not seeing the penalties. We're not seeing the mistakes. We're not seeing the missed assignments, the communication errors and breakdowns. I mean, this has been a well-coached team from start to finish, and I think it speaks volumes about the job that Josh McDaniels and his coaching staff have done getting the young players up to speed.
I agree with you.
Be tough, be smart.
Oh, great catch.
And what a grab by Isaiah Zuber.
That's a heck of a catch, man. That was caught by both those guys. He just came down with it. Really good job. And there's a great catch. There's a throw that matches it, Rich.
That's good coverage by Marcus
Absolutely.
Jones. Well, what a great catch and great concentration.
Garbers
he's got
put
strong hands.
Yeah, because that ball had a little juice on it.
Second-year man out of Mississippi State picks up 7 into the red zone for the Raiders. Zuber's first catch. Burton Brown back in there. Down to the 16. Jack Jones with the tackle.
There's a lot of, you talk about scouting. I would have to imagine, Matt, you know better than I do, there's a lot of teams that are here tonight to watch these two teams live and in person to see, evaluate the town, obviously, and to see what may be available come next week.
It's interesting, Rich. There's a big difference between watching it live and watching it on tape.
Absolutely. Particularly the quarterback position. I want to see these guys interact between plays. I want to see their eyes. I want to see how they function. I want to see how they handle adversity. I want to see the toughness.
Garbers dives down to the 13. And it's going to be third down here for Las Vegas.
He's got 3rd and 7. See if they don't bring some heat here. See what they're doing. Yeah, looks like they're manning up.
5 receivers for Garbers.
Here they come. Yep.
Here they come. Chase gets the pass away. Incomplete. A little bit behind Keelan Cole.
Okay, it's an NFL. That needs to be caught. It was behind him, but catchable.
Yeah, and a better throw there too, Matt. He just rushed it. He had it. He had an extra split second. He just rushed the throw, and you see he's got him. It's a good route.
Oh, he's got him.
Receivers.
It's behind. I think you still have to make that catch. It's a hard catch, but this is the NFL. That's what you do.
Daniel Carlson looking for his 3rd field goal of the night. He's hit from 23 and from 50. This is a 33-yarder. Money. 16-6. Raiders bump the lead back up to double digits. Upgrade your event experience to the best seats in the house with premium seating options. Now is your chance to enjoy an unforgettable time with family and friends in our state-of-the-art suite and loge seats. Limited inventory is available for all upcoming events, so be sure to visit Raiders.com/suites today to learn more about our premium seating offerings.
I've been in a lot of new stadiums, but I don't think there's a bad seat in this house.
No.
Some of the new ones, they're just kind of too far away from the field, but not here.
Come check it out against Arizona, Denver, Houston, Indy, the Chargers. The Patriots will be back out here in December, and then what a finish. The last 2 games of the regular season hosting the 49ers and the Chiefs.
Ooh. Not an easy schedule.
What might be at stake in December and January? The last 5 games that they play were all playoff teams a year ago, guys, including 3 of the last 4 Super Bowl champs. Look at that finish. Rams, Pats, Steelers, Niners, Chiefs.
Yeah, tough stretch. You know, you look at starting off the season against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. You got Arizona. You've got to go to Tennessee. They've got Russell Wilson, the Broncos in week 4. Then you got to stretch through the next 4 games. 3 of the 4 are on the road at Kansas City, at New Orleans in week 7, and week 8 at Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're going to stay east for the New Orleans and Jacksonville games back-to-back against a couple of new head coaches, including former Raider head man Dennis Allen with the Saints. Pass is incomplete. That was Matthew Butler getting in the backfield and getting after Bailey Zappi.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Got off the ball pretty quick, got to that top shoulder, and was able to get pressure. You see him on the inside, number 73. See how he got to the top, that shoulder, and then just worked it. He was able to reach ahead and grab that arm, disrupt the ball.
6 guys drafted by the Raiders this year. 2 O-linemen, 2 D-linemen, 2 running backs. There's a chance that all of them are on this roster. I think all eyes will be on Britton Brown. Whether or not they go with 6 running backs. Munford and Parham may be in position to start. Then, of course, White should have a big impact in the backfield.
I want to show you something here with Darian Butler. Not a real big guy. Where is Darian Butler? I think he's right here. Okay, I want you to watch this attack. Boom, that's perfect. Right in the hole, right under the chin. You take the hole away. Excellent job.
3rd and 5. Right at the line to gain, and it's a first down. Pierre Strong matching up there with Tay Davis.
Then Valkenburg on one side and Tayshawn on the other side. Tashawn, I should think it's, how does he say it? Tashawn or
Tashawn?
Tashawn.
Another pass underneath. Strong. Butler gets to him.
Nicely played by Butler. Good patience, nice drop. Let it develop in front of you.
There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights for a lot of these players, but as they shower up tonight, go back to their hotel room, and hopefully don't hear from the team. You know, no news is good news sometimes, right, man?
Oh, yeah.
2nd and 2 for the Patriots. First down for New England into Raider territory. Take us through that, guys. I mean, what's that as a flag is down?
Holding. Offense to 63. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, they used to have a name for it. They used to have a name for it. They call it the Turk.
Yeah.
Right, Matt? You would never want to see the Turk.
That's one guy that comes to you?
He would come to you and say, hey, the coach wants to see you and bring your playbook. Those are the lines. That's the line you never want to hear as an NFL player. Coach wants to see you and bring your playbook.
Yeah.
It's one thing that says coach wants to see you. Okay. If he says to bring the playbook, you're probably not leaving the building with that playbook.
Here's the other part that nobody ever talks about. The players already know who's on the team. The players, I mean, there's a couple guys who are going to be
surprises.
There's going to be a couple surprises, but for the most part, they know.
Intercepted. Second pick of the game for the Raiders.
That was just a poor throw. Free safety just in the middle of the field. He threw it to him.
That's the wide receiver, Isaiah Zuber, who has a reception and an interception tonight.
Threw it right to him. And the more you can do, Beth, we saw this with Troy Brown back in the day with the Patriots, a receiver that Bill Belichick decided to use as a safety. And he's back in the middle of the field, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's deep, that's for sure. He didn't want anything to do with up front.
But now look.
Stay deep as the deepest, the ball comes right to you. Yeah, he's a happy man.
That's a bad throw by Zach.
Yeah, it is.
That had no chance.
27 yards on the return for Zuber. And he'll stay in the game. Two-way guy.
This is the last of the 60-minute man.
Yeah.
Chuck Bednarik.
Oh, do you reward him here?
Concrete Chuck.
Concrete Charlie, you got it.
Not many guys get the turnover and the points off of it, and they'll run it here with Brown.
Talk about his position versatility, the ability to be a contributor in a number of different areas on offense, on defense, and in a kicking game. Nice job by Zuber.
Continues to run. Play action for Garbers. There's the screen. Right back to Brown. Zigzags his way into the red zone for the Raiders.
Brown's pretty good. He changed direction pretty well. He sets his blocks up well. Pretty good player.
Nice job. Doesn't show it. Good patience.
Yep. I like how he finishes, too.
Started his career at Duke. In the last couple of years at UCLA, he averaged 6 yards per carry the last 2 seasons with the Bruins. And the push up front gets to the 15-yard line.
Had a really good pro day workout. Got the attention of the Raider coaching staff and the front office. And took him in the 7th round. As you said, Beth had some really good seasons at Duke where he was a standout. 102 carries last year for the Bruins and 11 touchdowns.
Played for David Cutcliffe and then Chip Kelly. Some pretty good offensive minds there.
Oh, yeah. Chipper.
Kelly with that tremendous success from his days at Oregon. Cutcliffe with Peyton Manning at Tennessee. Keelan Cole with the catch inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal Raiders.
And a better throw by Chase Garbers. This is the throw he missed before to Keelan Cole. Remember, he threw it behind him, Matt. This one's in a better location.
Jones could be in better position. The route was just okay.
Even from a conditioning standpoint, you watch the Raiders in the preseason.
I agree with you.
And I think it's very noticeable.
Can they get the 7 instead of the 3? Walter churning to the 3-yard line. Zamir White with a 4-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, and then a couple of other trips down there had to settle for the field goals.
Come out here and train in this Vegas heat, and you get ready for these types of moments.
Yeah, you don't even have to work out in your sweat. Just go outside. At least fat people like me, that's what happens.
Is that what you blame it on?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Lack of workout?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Garbers goes under center. Looking to throw for 6. Broken up. Intended for Keelan Cole. That was Marcus Jones, one of the 3 Joneses in the secondary for the Pats.
And Mr. Jones. He got a thing going on out there.
I think he rushed it. Cole rushed it. He did a little bit better job at the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Does Matt have a like, you have some karaoke deal going on? You've been singing songs every preseason game.
I can't help it. I'm in the shop. I listen to the radio all the time.
3rd and goal, Vegas. The pitch to Brown, the cutback, touchdown.
It's what we saw earlier in the game. Same play. Got a block on the outside, pull that tackle, kick him around.
That's Bam Olaseni leading the way.
You're going to see the tight end come in. He's going to get the seal block. You watch the tackle, pull man, and then just a nice little toss. This play has been very effective for the Raiders down in the red zone tonight.
Tell you, Keelan Cole had a nice block. He stuck his face right in the middle of that.
7 plays, 32 yards in just over 3 minutes. Credit One, by the way, will be donating $2,000 to local charities for every PAT the Raiders make this season. And there's a preseason boot for Carlson. Proceeds will benefit Las Vegas After School All-Stars and the Boys and Girls Club. 23-6 Raiders. Here's the capper off the turnovers. 2nd touchdown. Points off TOs today for the Raiders. And it's Britton Brown from 3 yards out. 23-6. Raiders on top. And as they get set to kick it away, we'd like to welcome in another Raider legend on this alumni weekend. Mike Haynes now joining us down on the field. Matt?
Oh, that's my old roommate.
That's
and of
right.
course, the Hall of Famer right there, Mike Haynes. Good as corners I have ever seen. Michael also one of the few guys, so he played for the Patriots and he played for the LA Raiders at the time. Mike, taking a look at this team right now, you have to be impressed with the way they're not making mistakes. They're getting the turnovers. They're doing all the little things right.
Yeah, they really are. The defense is what really needs to play well in order for the Raiders to win, at least in my opinion. And they're doing that tonight. I don't think there's any question that they are doing what it's going to take to get them to a Super Bowl this year.
Mike, what's the key for the secondary? You know, we've had a lot of turnover. You got some young players, but you look at this AFC West and Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. You better have some cover corners. What have you seen so far from the Raiders corners in the preseason?
They look pretty good. They look pretty sharp, and they're getting a lot of playing time. So I think that's really good. It's going to help them for the regular season. But they seem to understand what everybody else is doing as well, so they know where their help is coming from, and they're not jumping routes really early. They're playing exactly the way it's meant to be done. I think it's great coaching and great play by the guys.
Mike, I think, Matt mentioned it. You started your career with the Patriots. You were the Defensive Rookie of the Year in '76. It didn't take you too long to get it figured out. But what's the toughest part of the transition, going from college to the NFL game to play that corner position?
Well, I really do think it depends on where you go, the team that you go to. I went to the Patriots, and so everybody in that defensive huddle knew what every single player in the defense was doing. So you could really sign a guy on Thursday, and he could come in on Friday's practice and play in the game, and because everybody in the huddle could tell him what his job is. So, a lot of it is mental. It's not just physical, beating the guy in the techniques that you're using. A lot of it is knowing where your help is and what you're expecting to happen on that play in the down and the distance.
Yeah, that's nice, Mike, except I know how much man coverage we played, and I know how
that was the difference between the Patriots and the Raiders right there.
And I knew I had Mike Haynes out there, and when I was checking things, I was putting you on a corner all by yourself.
Yes, and you're putting the linebackers all by themselves, too.
Yeah, I hated that. I always switched the call with Rod, make sure he was on coverage.
We talked to Patrick Graham, the new DC this week, Mike, and he talked about toughness DNA. What is Raiders toughness DNA that this group has to have this season?
Well, I really don't know what the Raiders DNA has to be. Matt probably can answer that better than me because he's been out here watching these guys practice. I haven't, and this is my first time seeing them in action.
Mike, the one thing, when you're talking about shutdown corners and just cover corners, there's some things that you absolutely have to have, and I think speed gets overrated, and I think the mind gets underrated. Talk a little bit about that because I know how smart a player you are.
Yeah, it's really a lot of the mindset. So if you get beat, you have to say that's not like me, and the next play, you got to play like you. And you cannot live on a bad play for very long. And your personality, your body, your strength is stronger when you're feeling positive. And the only way to be positive is to make good plays if you need a little help, you can also push the offensive guy around a little bit, be a little bit tougher with him, manhandle him a little bit.
Oh, Mike, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. 2-minute warning here in Vegas. From the Strip here in Las Vegas, inside Allegiant Stadium, the final 2 minutes of the preseason, as the Raiders try and put the finishing touches on the first unbeaten preseason in franchise history. Do they get another takeaway right here? Deshaun Bauer is the guy that lands on it. And that is definitely knocked out by Bryce Cosby after Curtis Bolton had him down low. And a fumble from Kevin Harris. That is the third takeaway for this Raiders defense.
I said at the start of the game, I'm going to repeat myself, Deshaun Bauer's a good football player. I really have liked what he's done in this preseason. I think he's got to be a guy who's got to make this team.
Really impressive.
So the Raiders offense is back out there while a review goes on. We'll take the timeout. Time now for the connection of the game, brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Terrific reception by Isaiah Zuber, and then he turned around and played defense and got the pick. The interception to go with the reception. Got to be the first time that's happened in a game.
Well, Zub did a nice job. I think he'd rather be on the offensive side than the defensive side.
Well, he's got an interesting past. You know, Isaiah Zuber spent some time with this New England Patriot team. He's been on and off of practice squads. Spent time in New England, San Francisco, Cleveland, the Jets, before coming to the Raiders. Happy to see him have some success.
Well, the Raiders will take the knee, and they'll just try and work this clock here to get to 4-0 in the preseason. And Josh McDaniels and his staff and GM Dave Ziegler with some tough decisions to make in the next several days. The cut down to a final roster of 53 to open the season has to be made on Tuesday.
I'm excited for this Raider team. I'm excited for Josh. I think he's done an excellent job. I think he's a really good coach. And the staff he has here, usually a staff, it takes about 3 to 5 years to get them right. I think he's done pretty darn well.
You know, I think you get what you emphasize as well.
Right.
I remember Coach telling us that very first production meeting, guys, he said, hey, we're going to take care of the penalty issue. You know, we were 31st in penalties. They've had the most penalties in the NFL since 1970. They've had 1 penalty tonight. They've had 14 penalties in 4 preseason games. The Dallas Cowboys, Beth, 2 weeks ago, had 17 penalties in 1 preseason game. I mean, if you can keep the penalties, you know, under 4 or 5 a game, boy, you got a chance to lead the league in fewest amount of penalties, and that's something the Raiders, man, I don't think ever have done.
You kidding me? 17 penalties we'd have in the first half.
That was just getting started for you guys.
Exactly.
That was a full season for Matt. Hey, the season opener is September 11th, folks, at LA to face the Chargers. The home opener Sunday afternoon, September 18th, against the Arizona Cardinals.
A lot of respect right there between both of them. Same thing right there.
A lot of games, won 6 Super Bowls together, those 3 men.
Well, they were better in the red zone. That's one of the things they wanted to do. They had more takeaways. That's the other thing they wanted to do. And as you just referenced, the penalties. So a check mark on the 3 big points of emphasis.
We're looking for players.
The preseason.
You're right, Beth. And he said, what did he say? We're looking for players who are tough, that are smart, and that they play well under pressure. And I think we saw a ton of that through the first 4 preseason games, man.
I don't think there's any question, and I think you can look at the numbers and all those things, and they really don't make that much of a difference. When you watch how they're playing right now, it's such a great start to the season. Let's hope they have that continued success all the way through, because special seasons usually start with, you know, we talked about Raider defense, and here's a little bit of it. Luke Masterson with that pick across the middle, and then getting pressure on started in the first quarter all the way through, and it didn't stop. Kept on coming. I thought Bowers had played himself a really nice game.
4 sacks, the 3 takeaways. And they hold the Patriots to field goals.
Good coordinated pass rush tonight. Did a nice job locking these receivers down in man-to-man coverage, getting the ball out, creating a bunch of negative plays, and that's what Josh McDaniels has talked about throughout the course of the preseason.
What's the position competition that you'll be eyeing the most on Tuesday to see how it plays out?
I'm curious about that running back room, what that's going to look like. I just think there's some really good, talented players. I think the Raider organization has some very difficult decisions to make.
Also with the receivers, I'm anxious to see. I think DJ Turner makes his team. But there's some good football players out here that are going to be off a roster.
Well, the weapons are there on offense. The playmakers are ready to go on defense. We have reached the end of the fourth quarter. We have reached the end of the Raiders preseason, as they take it here this evening 23-6 over New England. For our entire crew, I'm Beth Mowins, Matt Millen, Rich Gannon. Thanks so much for being with us. You've been watching Raiders football presented by Coca-Cola.